Long time to get things going today, guys. Guess I had an update I had to install. Alright, so we have the NQ up 0.65% today. Come on. All right. Good morning. Go check out some pre-market movers. Go check out some Investors Business Daily. Long weekend for me. Busy, busy, busy. Techs boost stock futures as China stock market rallies. All right. Got a China stock market rally. That's good. Was it FXI? Is that the China Bulls? Up at 40.6. Okay, so we're here, guys, on the FXI, which could boost us a little bit. China being up is pretty good. So that's pretty cool. Amazon proof stock forms long handle after extended cup base. These stocks with solid sales are holding up despite downturn. All right, some good articles this morning. Let's check these things out. Progressive, UGI, Motorola, Sienna, Tractor Supply are all showing strength and are especially noteworthy as they have solid sales gains. Cool. Daddy like. All right, PGR holding up really well. Interesting move, right? Back up to that 10-week moving average, which is its 50-day. But really bounced up that 10-week. What up, Eli? PGR, UGI, Corporation. Yeah, getting ready for more red, but, trying to keep my bullish bias generally, even though we're in a correction. Never know how long these things are going to last. And lately, they've lasted not a long time. Sienna, interesting price action. Morning, Amit. Sienna, CIEN. Let's look at this thing. That's a very interesting 1, 2, 3 year long base. And Sienna used to be a leader. Okay, composite rank of 93, which is healthy. Let's look at this thing. Designs Ethernet switching systems used in network infrastructure. Okay. 37 EPS change last quarter. I usually like to see this show a number at least. It doesn't even show a number here. So sales are slowing a little bit. Earnings surprise, that's pretty good. All right, I got nothing here, guys. I'm assuming my RAM is being used fully by my browser again. Need to buy more effing RAM. Seriously, Task Manager is taking 10, 15 seconds to pull up. Yep, 96% memory usage. Beautiful. Whoops, almost stopped the stream. Morning, Noel. Believe it, I don't know how YouTube uses so much damn memory, but it does. And IBD too. How does IBD use a gig of memory? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Alright, sorry guys. You guys want to sit here and watch me manage my memory usage. Although some of you might. Some of you probably are pretty tech-heavy geeks like myself, so probably even geekier. Debt to equity ratio, ROE, tax margins suck. The supply and demand's good. Rest of it's pretty normal. Not my favorite. Can I just reload this tab? I guess I cannot reload this tab. There we go. Alright, Nighthawk, hello. So there's a Ciena Corporation. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes, 5 minutes. So that one's holding up nicely. What else do we have? Yeah, no real major reason for Ciena to get super bullish here. Tractor Supply Company, TSCO. Holding up relatively well. Damn, another mosquito flying around my head. This is a weekly on Tractor Supply Company. And there's that trend line I just drew. Looks like I need to redraw that slightly. God damn it. What the hell, man? All right, market opens in 4 minutes. What else do we got to look at? So we looked at the FXI already, Eli. Looks like the FXI is pumping today, or last night, pumped last night. So our China plays, China may be doing good. See what else IBD has to say. Amazon proof stock is Ulta. All right, interesting. Pretty big cup with handle on Ulta. Very deep though. Yeah, 66% deep cup is not ideal. You actually want a cup that's half of that size, and we've not been in a bear market for the past 2 years, so I'm not quite sure what the rationale is for that particular sell-off, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. Hold on here, guys. All right. Killed the mosquito. I killed it. Hope that's the only one. We'll have to see. All right. Market opening, 1 minute. Market opening, 1 minute. What are you guys looking at? Looking at anything, or are you just kind of watching to see the market reaction? Think we've bottomed? Eli thinks we're dropping off. What do you guys think? GDA short entry or reshort entry is the one that oh, GDS. Okay, so there's your there's GDS. That's interesting. 1, 2. So it looks like you shorted at the top there over that 10-day maybe. And me's looking at the TQQQ. So yeah, talking about the Nasdaq. Well, let's see what's moving real quick, and then we'll talk about the Nasdaq. Got those China names that we mentioned. Somehow Yandex moves with China. I don't know why, but it does. Here's the daily. Here's the weekly. We have these two charts linked. Crazy action the past couple of days. Look at that on Friday. Crazy. All right, Melmo's a China name. EDU's a China name. Hasn't broken that trend line. We drew all these last Friday. We had a few trend lines there. We had Funko with an alert level that hasn't been hit yet. Weibo, China name. GDS, still don't know what they do. Baba, Noah, also China. Noah's a China name. Netty is a China name. Bit is a China name. GDS is the one that looks like a Nighthawk. I'm not sure what they do. VIP's a China name. Baidu a China name. FXI is the China ETF. So there's your trend line on the FXI. On the daily, we also, looks like we just drew it there on the weekly too. ZS, right there. Zern. Huya. Looks like a failure to go lower here. Could potentially put a bottom in. Let's kind of draw a trend line. Eli, you on this thing yet? And the TQQQ thing, I mean, I think Friday you should have taken a little bit of position. I think Amit, you and I were discussing a little bit about when to get in. I said we could drop from this high level. We did. We did drop down back here to the 200-day. And one thing I'm not happy with, now, again, this has to do with a bit of the difference between the TQs and the NQs. So let me do this. Let me pull up the IBD's chart of the NASDAQ. And I think I can actually straight up pull up the NASDAQ if I really wanted to. And I'm not, you know, I haven't tested that high volume strategy. I haven't tested that really on versus getting in on a follow through day yet. So I'm working on that presentation, but I got a bunch of family obligations that pull me away. And I'm not to the market analysis part of it yet. So let's get to, you know what, every time I have a hard time finding this. It's like B1, isn't it, or something? Well, we can go through the IBD 52. Okay, So here's the market trend page. Nasdaq's up about 1%. So here's the S&P. Here's the Nasdaq. See the volume? Okay, so this looks completely different from our charts. Looks completely different from our charts. See, I get no volume. I get no volume. See, they put volume on their charts that I don't get over here. And, you know, I do believe volume is pretty imperative here. You know, something else we can do, you can actually pull up charts on IBD. And I don't even think you have to be a subscriber to do this. So you guys can do this if you don't want to subscribe to IBD. Okay, I don't even know what that is. It's like it's the weirdest ticker symbol in the world. Come on. All right, I found it. Go to research, go to IBD charts. It's right there for you. So, okay, so here's volume. This is probably the chart we should be paying attention to, actually. Now, I don't know if I can get full history on this, but we definitely have some high volume prints here. But on the futures, which is the chart we did that on, remember, excuse me, guys, just kind of trying to get comfortable here. The problem here is we're chopping around this. On this chart, actually, I haven't seen this before, is that we have a bit of a higher volume down day here, but it's not the high volume down day yet. And I don't know if I can't move around this, apparently. I thought I was going to be able to move around this chart a little bit. Like drag it over to get history, but I guess I can't. I'll try to figure that out, see if there's a way I can get some history on that chart. But on this chart, we still have our high volume print day on the futures. The problem here, which probably isn't a huge issue, is that we still have elevated volume here on these 3 red days, showing, you know, still some distribution. But bouncing above the 50-day is a positive thing. Hold on a sec. And I'm a little curious as to why the China futures are moving. Okay, China's stock market rallies. Hints of government support spurred a stock market rally. Okay. (2.3% for the Hang Seng and 4.1% for Shanghai. Wow. Best session in 3 years. Okay. Bear market territory. So Takes a little more to pull out from a bear market than it does a normal correction, as you're kind of, feeling right now with Bitcoin. All right, that's about all they got for China. And the Nasdaq selling off a little bit here. Was up almost 1%, now down about 0.5%, or up about 0.5%. But I mean, in terms of when to get in TQQQ, you don't have to jump in all at once. All right, you can kind of poke in a little bit at a time, if you wanted to. Yeah, if we're not done here, Eli. Well, in terms of, so here's the thing. At least to me, when I say if we're done, is that have we printed the bottom candle? Are we actually done going lower? If we're not done going lower after a drop like this, then we may roll back over and, like I said, hit more towards that correction phase, which is this level at 65, 61 in the Nasdaq. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Trying to track stocks. So, we got our watch list. We've noted a few that really haven't been selling off as much. Let's kind of go through that. Let's breeze through this list. And now every time my hair moves on my leg, I think there's a mosquito on me. Yeah, so let's go through this list. Noted the ones that held up. We did that a little bit earlier. Checked out a few of those that IBD mentioned. Actually, don't mind. Yeah, Huya's looking pretty good right there. Down in this area for a while would be pretty healthy. Big pullback from 50 down to 22. It's a pretty big little pullback there. So, all the China names are pretty beaten down, depending on how that's going to work out, if the China market's bottomed or not, which I don't know if they have or not. Let's look at the FXI, right? So still within this downtrend, still kind of underneath here. Nothing really to do here. You are getting some elevated volume down here, which is pretty healthy, and that's a really big volume day right there at that low over there. So if the China market is going to kind of put a bottom or short-term bottom in, that could be nice, but nothing major here yet. It's like I said, bear markets need a little bit more time to play themselves out. TRN, there's FXI. One thing I've been interested in is was it TNT? Is that bond ETF, TRN. No, that's not it. Darn it. What's in the red on my... Let's go see what's down today, too. Weed stocks, Restoration Hardware, Tilroy down, SQ, ZS, MJ... BA down. TBT, that's the bond one. So I believe this is a ETF. For ultra short. Yeah, ultra short the 20-year bond. So if those interest rates really start to ratchet, this will start climbing here pretty good. So we had Boeing, which is kind of holding up pretty good. Looks like it's down. Yep, definitely broke. LLY was holding up pretty good. How's it doing? Still keep on keeping on right there. You have a pretty decent day on Friday. It was a down day, but look where it closed. Well up, almost about 50% of the daily range. All right, Eli's got CNSL moving against the trend. So this has already broken a longer-term trend line to the downside here. Now it's just really flat in this latter half of the year. All right, let's see what they do. I haven't heard of these guys before. Consolidate sounds a little familiar. Ranked 39 in composite, 66 relative strength. So not great. Looks like they're a local phone company, which is probably why they're working better here recently. They're a utility. Earnings are not good. ROE, pre-tax margin. Pre-tax margin is 0%. ROE is 3.5%. Debt to equity is 400%. So I'm not sure if it's moving against the trend, Eli, or if it's just dead. But its stock checkup is not a good one. It's not all red, but we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 red dots on CNSL. I'm going to have to veto that one. And BHC you mentioned as well. I think I missed that one. Another, wow. That's brutal. BHC. Bosch Health Companies, rank 77 composite. Relative strength is 96, which is better. How am I hating? I'm not hating. Not hating at all. I just love your money. Want to keep it safe and warm. EPS change negative 10%. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 just on the top section. Has basically 14 red dots. And the latest article is why Bausch is coming out on the losing side of this co-promotional deal. So not super interested in that one. Yeah, that's a big, huge saucer base right there. I don't mind saucer bases. All right, you know what? Let's do this. While the market's kind of playing itself out, let's go through the IBD 50. We got, today's a Monday. Eli's here. We got the EIBD. I'm going to do it on my other screen here. Well, you know what? Let me pull it up so you guys can see too. You guys, I'm sure, don't want to watch a blank screen. So let's do this. We've got IBD 50. All right, so if you guys haven't been with me a while, whoops. The IBD 50 is a stock list put together by Investors Business Daily. And why can't I? There we go. Okay. A list put together by Investors Business Daily. This is a algorithm list. This isn't some list some dude put together. They put in whatever they want to in that IBD 50 screen, and it's a combination of all of their stuff. Let's see what's what. Let's write some names down, and then we'll go look at said names. I'm going to put them right here in chat. All right, so we've got erases gain, cuts 10-week line sell signal for number 1. That's not very good. Closes tight below 10-week line in light volume. Not great, but better. Late stage stock test support at 40-week moving average. 40-week, that's the 200-day. Tight weekly close pullback sets stops short of 84.34 buy point, which was breakout back here on ViV. Pullback stops short of testing buy point on Paycom. So that is probably the most positive thing we've seen. Attempts to craft bottom and possible base, 18% pullback for HQY. These are much more bearish notes. Second week below 10-week moving average, no sell signal. Tumbles back below 10-week line, but volume is light on Match.com. Below 10-week line after sell signal. Gain from 36 cents, shrinks fast, lock in profits. Holds gain, but past 25% profit taking zone for Wingstop. Above 10-week line, but well below 70.05 aggressive entry. Wide and loose, erratic trading makes for flawed chart. Lovely. Big run after May breakout, but now stuck under 10-week line. Falls below 10-week line after sharp reversal from high. Not showing some good things going on here. Loses support at 10-week line. Loses support at 10-week line. Trigger sell signal. Forming handle and long base with buy point. Ulta. In bold. Rallies toward 50-day. Consolidating below 10-week. Extended, forming handle and long cup entry. EETF. $96.30. Breaks below 40-week line. Break below 10-week line as base forms for EHC. We'll take a look at that. Trying to find support in buy range after retaking. Ooh, VICI. Is that what that is? In buy range after retaking buy point. That's good. Gives up longer term support. That's not good for Palo Alto. Yeah, look at that. Rolls right over from nice uptrend. Accumulation distribution, a B on this one. 98 composite rating. EPS. Relative strength. Oh, it's a REIT. Oh, gosh. It's not good when a REIT is topping your leaders list. Forming new flat base with a buy point for SBRA. 23.93. Erases 14% gain from 3 weeks tight buy signal, which was right there. A flat base with a buy point for GMed. So that's good. That's a note you want to see right there. Reach profit target, gigantic cup with handle, shows a buy point. CTRE. Another REIT. Another REIT. When you have REITs in the IBD 50, that's not a good sign. Sell. Forming a flat base. Dollar General. They're definitely gonna perform. These are like recession leaders. Holding support by 10-week. Trigger sell signal. Cup and handle forming. Late stage buy point in a bio something stock. Extended, multiple pullbacks, testing support, forming flat base. That I like that. Sprouts. I'm spamming chat here, guys. Collapses below 10-week, but volume is modest. You still wait for AMD to come back after that. Makes a case for bottom, but no new entry yet. See right there on PAGS. If you're interested in PAGS. Brazil-based company that provides payment technology solutions. Well, since, yeah. Cactus, just below buy point. WHD, our good old WHD. Forming cut base with a buy point. WRD. NetApp well extended. Uptrend intact, whatever that means. And that's rank number 50. Let's look at sector leaders. What? There's only 3? Oh. You're kidding me. It's only 3 sector leaders. I think a couple weeks ago there was like 30. Wow, they're all below that 10-week moving average, all of them. Now HQY, which I believe we have HQY up here, and beat. NASDAQ down to up 0.25%. What you doing? You ready for school? Go brush some teeth.
I did.
What? Go do your hair. You do a great job. Oh, still muted. Thanks, Eli. Yeah, Monday. Looks like a gap and crap on a Monday, guys. SOI. I thought I fainted. You'd be so lucky, Paul. URI. Well, what else do I have besides my charts here, Eli? I don't got much. Wow, that's pretty bad on URI. Oh, went red on the NASDAQ. Let's check out the Qs. Red on the Qs too. Yep. We may be going deeper, guys. Definitely deeper here would put this 15% at risk. I mean, we're pretty close to there if we have a second leg lower. The volume's a little elevated here. You know what, let's break this down into some 5-minute charts. The volume's actually pretty light compared to Friday. Does look scary though. We're getting to a point, at least on the Q. Oh, these are the Qs. This isn't the NASDAQ. See, the NASDAQ's already lower than those recent lows. The Qs are not. So maybe we'll find a little bit of support here at the 0% range. So there's our futures. There's the future, guys. I just found the future. Alright, sorry. Kiddo walked back in the room. So pretty well defined topping trend line here on the NQ. I don't know if we can necessarily define a channel out of this. But we have a pretty well defined top trend line in place. And they're kind of just letting it stair step lower there. Bouncing up a little bit. I think China's one of the big stories if it's going to bottom, but it may just be a distraction at this point. We'll have to see. Like I said, on the futures, we've had that high volume day right there. In my mind, you know, the futures are really where the professionals try to trade and take their index positions. And that's such a huge volume candle right there that I think you really do have to pay attention to that candle. And we haven't even come close to reaching that towards the top. Kind of a lower volume topping area. Obviously, no follow through. It may take a while to come back there, but kind of have to wait and see here. MMNFF, what's your take? Well, it looks like a lot of these MJ stocks just need a rest. They were holding up really well. They've kind of lost their support. They're sitting down today here lower in the, actually at the bottom of the range here today. MJ's down 6%, breaking that support that it's had for a week or so. Or weeks, I'm sorry, a month or so. This is a weekly chart. So broke that pretty definitively. You got Tilroy down here finally trying to break support, which it's had for a while. So these are going to take a while. Looks like there's necessarily no market leadership here, which is a shame. We were trying to find some market leadership. Didn't quite get it. So probably is the start of, we'll see. If the market turns around the next couple of weeks, the MJ stocks will probably come back with it. But if we stay weird and roll over, they'll probably go away with it too. But we are in a correction right now. I don't know if you want to necessarily take positions here. If you've already got positions, like with any good trading strategy, you should already have an exit point in mind. But breaking some of the support, everyone's looking at Tilroy here for a little bit of leadership. It's already broken that trend line. Looks like that's drawn a little bit mal-shaped. Yeah, right about there. So already trying to break that trend line. Then MMNFF, a recent issue, rallied on pretty good volume. There's some selling up here as well, but taking on the chin here today. Yeah, there's no clear buy point right here. It's when the market's in a correction, you just kind of have to let it do its thing. That's about all you can do, really, is let the market work and then give you another buy signal. Not going to catch the bottom, but you're not going to get whipsawed around and have some losses also. Ooh. Yeah. All right, guys, 7:05. I got to get out of here. Yeah, market's oscillating. Just went red again on the NQ. On the Qs, we're already a little red. So far, not looking like a good Monday. Probably will see more selling off by the end of the day. We'll have to see. But I think as long as the volume stays a little bit more muted, we're at least done with the hard part of the downside. We may have one or two pretty big down days, but they may come back pretty quick. If you remember when we went back into the history of the Nasdaq futures, those high volume down days, while some did go down more, and like I said, this may be that scenario where we maybe drop down another leg down towards the 6,600 level where this trend line is here. We will probably reverse back up. The economy is still good. I think the China trade war, the longer that goes on, the worse off we're going to be generally. So you have caution here. If you guys, you're talking about buying the TQQQ, you need to wait towards the end of the day, I think, before maybe entering some of those positions at this moment in time, and wait to see if we get a follow-through day if you haven't bought towards this low print here. If you did, if we undercut here, maybe consider exiting that if that's something you want to do. If you're a longer-term investor, then we're going to get out of this just fine, I think. As far as when we go into new highs, it's hard to say. It'll be next year sometime, I think, before we get back into new highs. But the market's should have a longer-term time horizon when trading that TQQQ strategy. And some of these other names, it's a correction. So you're gonna try maybe one entry every once in a while if you see something very definitive. But there's nothing very definitive right now. We have a lot of these China names that are trying to put in lows, but I don't know if we're quite there yet. The FXI still well below this trend line, which as of right now is the defining trend line of this bear market, and at least from what I see on this chart. So, all right, guys, I got to bounce. I'll get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow.